What if I told you that the one thing most men keep private, feel embarrassed about, or avoid altogether, masturbation, might actually be the key to maintaining not just your prostate health, but your entire sexual well-being as you get older? I'm talking about real, noticeable changes in your body, especially in your sexual organs. And no, this isn't some hearsay or old locker room myth. This is rooted in human biology and supported by research. It's something no man over 60 should ignore, because doing nothing, letting time and age dictate your sexual health, comes with a cost greater than most realize. Let me properly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Edward Carlson, a men's health physician with over 3 decades of experience helping aging men across the country regain control of their bodies and their confidence. I've listened to countless men in their 60s, 70s, and even into their 80s who all believed that losing their sex drive and vitality was just part of getting older. They were mistaken. Once they learned the truth about what was happening inside them, they saw incredible improvements, not just physically, but emotionally too. Here's what men are rarely told. Your penis, even later in life, is still responsive and capable. It hasn't shut down. It's just waiting for the right kind of attention. It needs engagement. When you stimulate it, you're doing more than finding pleasure. You're activating biological systems that improve blood circulation, nourish the tissue, balance hormones, and support a clean, healthy prostate. This isn't just about feeling good, it's about maintaining your body's functionality. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 real, physical changes that occur when an older man masturbates. The 5th might surprise you. It's often overlooked, even by professionals in my field, but it could transform how you age, how you feel in your own skin, and how you live each day. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos designed specifically for men in your stage of life. If what we're discussing resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're unsure or think this isn't for you, type 0 and let me know what kind of topics would better serve your health journey. Now that we've established why this is so important, let's explore the first major benefit of masturbation as you age that's tied directly to the most essential aspect of your sexual health: circulation. Improved blood flow, a critical boost to your penis. I'll never forget a 68-year-old patient who asked me with genuine concern, "Is it too late for me to care about this?" He was referring to his erections, his masculinity, his sense of being a whole man again. I told him the honest truth. It's never too late, but it does require understanding and intention. One of the biggest things we take for granted as we grow older is the role of blood flow in maintaining sexual health. It's not just about achieving an erection, it's about keeping the tissue alive, oxygenated, and functioning well. Circulation is vital, and the act of masturbation, surprisingly, plays a direct role in maintaining that flow. As we get older, our blood vessels don't quite perform the way they used to. Arteries stiffen, circulation weakens, and the smallest vessels, especially those that supply the penis, are often the first to decline. But here's what many men don't realize. Engaging in regular sexual activity, including solo stimulation, can actually help keep those blood pathways active and healthy. Every time you become aroused and reach orgasm, your body sends a rush of blood to your pelvic region. That rush isn't just about pleasure, it's part of how your body maintains itself. When blood fills the penis, it delivers oxygen and nutrients to the erectile tissue, specifically the corpus cavernosum. And this isn't just textbook anatomy, this is functional biology. Without regular stimulation and circulation, that tissue starts to weaken. Over time, it can shrink, lose elasticity, and become less responsive. But staying sexually active, even by yourself, keeps the entire system engaged. It's about preserving what nature built not for vanity, but for vitality. This is not about impressing anyone. It's about honoring and preserving a part of yourself that still works, still matters. I've seen men well into their 70s reclaim their sense of energy and masculinity, not through prescriptions, but through daily habits and a renewed relationship with their own body. The act may be simple, but the benefits are powerful. Improved blood flow isn't just about better performance, it's a signal to your body that you're still alive, still present, and still fighting for your well-being. And that's only the beginning, because what happens next What your body clears out and resets after orgasm is just as important, and it often goes unnoticed. Let's talk about that now. If you're still watching and this message feels relevant to you, go ahead and type 1 in the comments. That lets me know you're here and committed to learning more. Now, moving on to the second powerful change. Ejaculation helps cleanse the system and prevent discomfort. There's a topic many men hesitate to bring up, but it comes up more than you'd think in private conversations with my patients. A lingering ache in the testicles, pressure in the lower abdomen, or that vague, nagging sensation of fullness that's hard to pinpoint. It's not sharp pain, but it's uncomfortable enough to cause concern. And when I ask how often they're ejaculating, the answer is often, not very much anymore. That's when I explain what's really happening. As we age, the glands that produce and store semen like the prostate and seminal vesicles start to slow down. These areas are designed to produce fluid and move it out of the body on a regular basis. But if the system isn't used, that fluid can build up. It doesn't just sit quietly. It creates pressure, inflammation, and discomfort. Ejaculation acts as a natural release valve. It helps flush out stagnant fluids, reduces the risk of blockages, and keeps everything functioning smoothly. Without that regular release, the system can become sluggish and uncomfortable, sometimes even leading to infections or more serious conditions. So if you've been feeling off down there and you haven't been ejaculating regularly, that could be part of the issue. The solution may be simpler than you think, and the benefits go far beyond just feeling better. When fluids remain stagnant in your system, they can lead to inflammation, discomfort, and in some cases, infection. The male body isn't built to store reproductive fluid indefinitely. So when you masturbate and reach ejaculation, you're doing more than relieving stress or chasing a moment of pleasure. You're carrying out an essential biological task. Each ejaculation helps flush out stored seminal fluid, keeping the internal pathways clear and functional. Think of it like plumbing in a home. If you don't run water through the pipes now and then, buildup occurs, pressure rises, and the whole system becomes vulnerable to blockage or breakdown. I've had older patients, men like Harold, in his early 70s, come back after just a few weeks of regular ejaculation. They hadn't thought much of it in years, but after reconnecting with this part of themselves, they reported something powerful. A sense of lightness, less pressure in their lower abdomen, and a surprising connection to their bodies again. That's not random, it's your biology responding to regular use. Choosing to neglect this part of your health out of shame, age-related stigma, or old-fashioned thinking doesn't protect you. It can set the stage for discomfort, inflammation, and conditions like chronic prostatitis or symptoms of an enlarged prostate. Regular ejaculation, yes, even if it's just you and your body, is a remarkably effective way to support long-term health. So, no, you're not past the point where this matters. In fact, your body might be giving you gentle reminders, a low ache, a sense of fullness or tension, that it still needs this function. And while the act of release helps maintain physical balance, there's something even more significant happening behind the scenes, something rooted in your brain and directly connected to your emotional well-being. Let's dive into that. 3. Hormonal harmonia, natural boost of testosterone and endorphins. One of the least discussed but most impactful aspects of aging isn't the physical acesits, the quiet shifts in your emotional and mental state. Many older men come into my office not complaining about pain or function, but something more subtle. "Doc, I don't feel like myself anymore," they'll say. "I feel disconnected, like something's missing." More often than not, what they're describing is a gradual change in hormones. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's powerful. It affects energy, confidence, even the sense of who you are. What many don't realize is that solo sexual activity has a significant influence on those hormones. Masturbation isn't just about the release, it's a kind of neurological reset. When you stimulate yourself and reach orgasm, your brain kicks off a cascade of chemicals that affects your entire system. Testosterone levels get a natural boost. Dopamine floods your brain's reward centers, helping you feel motivated and alive. Oxytocin, the hormone that builds a sense of calm and connection, also rises, even when you're alone. And then there are endorphins, your body's natural pain relievers and mood lifters. These aren't just pleasant side effects. They're a key part of how your body regulates emotion, recovers from stress, and heals. In a time when so many older men silently face anxiety, low mood, or a fading sense of purpose, this internal hormonal shift can be a lifeline that's entirely natural and within your control. I've spoken with many men in their 60s and 70s who've rediscovered a surprising sense of vitality just by re-engaging with their own bodies through regular solo activity. They often tell me they feel more grounded, more alert, and even more alive. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency. It's not about chasing pleasure or trying to relive your youth. It's about restoring a natural rhythm, allowing your brain to receive the signals it was designed for, reminders that say, you're still here, you still matter, you're still complete. And those signals, they can create real change, better sleep, a clearer mind, steadier moods, and renewed drive. They might seem like minor shifts, but over time, they build momentum. These improvements don't just stay in the background, they start shaping how you show up in your life. So while the physical body responds, what truly transforms is your mindset. And when that mental clarity returns, you begin to rediscover something else, strength. Because the next change isn't just about how you feel, it's about what you can still do. You might be surprised at just how much physical capability you still have. If you're still with me and this message is resonating, go ahead and type 1 in the comments to let me know you're engaged. Now, let's continue with point number 4. 4. Pelvic floor activation, building stronger erections through muscle control. There's one moment from my clinic that I'll always remember. A gentleman, maybe 72 or 73, came in quiet, reserved. He took his time opening up, but eventually he looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I still have all the sensation, but it's like my body can't finish the job anymore." What he was describing wasn't just about age or hormone level, Sid, was about something deeper. The muscles at the foundation of male sexual function, the pelvic floor. Most men don't realize that climax involves a group of muscles working in sync, the same muscles you'd use to stop yourself midstream while urinating. These pelvic floor muscles contract rhythmically during orgasm and help drive ejaculation. But like any muscle in the body, if they aren't used or trained, they start to weaken. And when they do, issues can follow: less firmness, reduced control, even urinary leakage. Here's the good news. You can strengthen them. And one of the most natural ways to do that? Regular masturbation. Every time you stimulate yourself in climax, you're not just supporting hormone health or blood flow, you're also giving those muscles a workout. You're practicing function. You're keeping those foundational systems active. It's similar to lifting light weights or doing balance exercises. You're building coordination between your brain, your body, and your performance. I've seen men who thought their best days were behind them regain control, confidence, and physical response from reconnecting with this part of themselves. This isn't about trying to feel young again. It's about realizing that you're not done. Your body still has power, and you can tap into that no matter your age. Research has confirmed what many older men experience firsthand. Actively engaging your pelvic floor muscles can lead to noticeable improvements in both the firmness and duration of your erections. These changes often start subtly, but give it time, weeks or even a few months, and your body begins to respond. The tissue regains tone, control improves, and that quiet sense of confidence returns. And make no mistake, confidence in your body at this stage in life isn't just a nice bonus. It's foundational. It affects how you carry yourself, how you move through the world, and how you see yourself in the mirror. But strength isn't the final piece of this picture, because what I'm about to share next is something most men are never told yet. It might be the most critical benefit of all. This isn't just about keeping things functional. It's about guarding your long-term health in ways you might never have considered. Let's go deeper. 5. Guarding against erectile dysfunction and supporting brain health. One story always comes to mind. A patient of mine, Leonard, age 74, came in one day looking frustrated. "It's like my body and my brain are slowing down at the same time," he said. "And honestly, I'm scared about where this leads." That kind of concern is more common than you might think, and it's not unfounded. As we age, subtle declines start to touch every system, especially the ones we've long taken for granted. But here's what I shared with Leonard and what I want you to know too. Regular ejaculation, even through solo activity, may be one of the most underestimated tools for protecting your long-term health. It's not just about performance in the moment, it's about what that act triggers in your body. Each ejaculation promotes the release of nitric oxide, a compound that supports healthy blood vessel function. This plays a direct role in maintaining strong, dependable erections, but that's just part of the picture. Ejaculation also helps reduce inflammation, specifically the kind of chronic low-grade inflammation that's been linked not just to ED, but also to serious cognitive issues, including memory loss and decline in mental sharpness. Yes, what happens in your lower body can have a direct effect on what's happening in your brain. Sexual activity, even solo, stimulates brain regions tied to memory, focus, and emotional balance. For many older men, this activity can reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality, and offer a sense of emotional stability that no prescription can match. Now think about that for a second. The very thing some older men feel ashamed of or avoid entirely might actually be helping them stay mentally sharp and emotionally steady. That's not an empty claim, it's rooted in science. And we can't ignore the emotional toll of erectile dysfunction. It quietly erodes confidence, strains intimacy, and isolates you from your own sense of self. Too many men suffer in silence, assuming it's just part of aging. But it doesn't have to be. The research now shows that consistent sexual activity, even masturbation, can help delay or even reduce the impact of ED, keeping your systems healthier for longer. No, this isn't some overnight solution, but it is a quiet, steady rhythm of care that builds over time. It's about staying in sync with your body, allowing it to do what it was built to do. That's the part most men never hear. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's still ready to work for you if you give it the chance. But this goes beyond function. It's bigger than prevention. What I want to share with you now, the final message, isn't about science or anatomy or even performance. It's about something deeper. It's about dignity. So let me step away from the clinical lens for a moment. Let me talk to you, man to man. If you've stayed with me this far, I already know something important about you. You care. You're not ready to step aside. And maybe, like many men I've met over the years, you've quietly asked yourself whether any of this still matters, whether you still matter. Let me tell you this clearly. Yes, you do. I've seen too many strong, capable men slowly accept the belief that aging means fading away, that after a certain point, you're expected to withdraw physically, emotionally, even spiritually. But look at you. You're still showing up, still curious, still willing to take the next step. And that means something. We don't talk enough about the emotional side of growing older as men. The decline often starts so quietly. A little less energy, a bit more hesitation, long stretches of silence. And somewhere along the way, you begin to wonder if you're becoming invisible not just to others, but to yourself. But let me be clear, you're not fading, you're evolving. You still hold strength, you still have control, and you still have purpose more than you probably realize. Taking care of your sexual health isn't about trying to be who you were at 30. It's about honoring who you are today. It's about standing in your truth, knowing that you are allowed to feel, to desire, to care for your body with pride and without apology. If that starts with something as private as reconnecting with yourself through masturbation, that's not shameful. That's self-respect. That's you choosing to listen to your body, to care for it not because you're chasing the past, but because you value the present. You are not broken, you are not behind, and you are not too old. You're here. And that means you still have the power to improve, to heal, and to grow. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And every small act of care is a quiet declaration that you're still in the game, still living your story, still choosing yourself day by day. And before I close, let me leave you with this one final thought. This isn't only about staying healthy, it's about legacy. The way you treat yourself now sends a message to those who love you, those who look up to you, and perhaps even to the younger version of you who still lives inside. That message is simple but powerful. You're still here, and you're still worthy. Let's bring this home. So here we are. You've just walked through 5 powerful ways that regular masturbation can support your health as an older man. We've talked about increased blood flow, reduced pressure and pain, improved hormonal balance, stronger pelvic muscles, and even protection against erectile dysfunction and cognitive decline. But if you've made it this far, I hope you've taken away something even more important. Because this conversation, it's not just about your body, it's about you. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with men who face the challenges of aging with grit, hesitation, quiet fear, and surprising resilience. And what I've learned is this: when a man decides to stay connected to his own body, not with guilt or shame, but with care and purpose, something shifts. He becomes more present, more rooted, more alive. You stop drifting through the motions and start reclaiming your place in your own story. Your story isn't finished, not by a long shot. In fact, this chapter right here might be the most meaningful one yet. The one where you show up with deeper awareness, steadier strength, and real ownership of your life. So take what you've learned today and let it remind you, your body is still working with you. You haven't lost the ability to care for yourself, not even close. And aging? It's not a retreat, it can be a return to what matters, a return to strength, to dignity, to self-respect. Take care of yourself. You've more than earned that right.